One team is 0-2, the other 2-0. A bit of a surprise start for the Bills, but they'll take it. Who you have in this one?
I'm going with the Bills and Josh Allen. I think they're finally figuring out how to use Josh Allen, how he fits within this offense, and using his best attributes, which is running the ball and then passing it down the field.
And I'm going Buffalo as well. That Bills Mafia will be in full effect, guaranteed. And Cincinnati, you know, they're last in the NFL in running the football, just one-dimensional team. I think the Bills defense can get it done at home.
Cincinnati's offense has really struggled to find its rhythm through those first two games.
Yep.
This matchup difficult for the 0-2 Miami Dolphins, who really draw as one of the hotter teams in the league when they face Dallas.
Yeah, I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys here. Obviously, that team is way too strong offensively. They're just clicking right now. They're clicking on all cylinders. Dak Prescott is hitting every receiver out there with a number on. He's being able to hit those receivers and score major touchdowns and put a lot of points up on the board. So I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys.
I got to go Dallas as well. You know, look, MIA has been MIA in playing football this year. So you look at Dallas, they're just too strong of a team across the board, all three phases. They're going to win this game by a lot. So I anticipate Miami being 0-3.
And in the meantime, Dak Prescott still looking for a new deal. The price tag, just it's like Price is Right, right?
Up.
It's just going up. Denver has spent more than a season or two trying to solidify that quarterback position. Joe Flacco, the answer right now. Up next for the Broncos, the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Green Bay Packers in this one. I think Aaron Rodgers is finally hitting his stride. He's understanding the talent that he has with him offensively, and he's hitting everybody across the board. And I think that trend will continue this week as well.
I got to go Green Bay as well. You can't go against Rodgers. You know, he's just too good. And you look at that defense, they're also really good this year. I think that whole thing has made a 180 as far as the defense is concerned. So it looks like the Broncos are going to be in a tough spot, especially traveling to Green Bay.
Well, you're right. That Packers defense was a focus, and the early returns are positive.
Yep.
Well, a big game for the Atlanta Falcons and Julio Jones last week. I know they'd love to string together two in a row. They'll face the Colts.
Yeah, and I think they will. I think the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, they're going to get on the same page. They're going to get in that end zone. They're going to score a lot of points here, and they're going to be clicking on all cylinders. I think they're finally finding their stride early on this part of the season and getting things going, and I think the Falcons come out victorious in this one.
And I'm going to go Colts. I think Jacoby Brissett has looked really good in his first two games. Look, last week, Vinatieri was struggling a little bit. I think this is going to be a close game. It's not going to be a blowout. But I think Vinatieri is going to win this game, so Colts win.
We'll see.
You'd certainly like to see that for the league's all-time leading scorer.
Right, exactly.
He's had a tough time, hinted at retirement last week, but chose to live to play another day. Certainly one of the better matchups of Week 3, Baltimore and Kansas City, two teams that gave us one of the better games of the regular season last year as well.
Well, I think first and foremost, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game to watch. But I got Kansas City just edging out the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be one of those shootout kind of games. Obviously, Baltimore defense has improved, but Pat Mahomes is just an absolute arson with that football, and he can just get it down the field to all his targets. And I got Kansas City winning, but just by a little bit.
I have Kansas City as well. Arrowhead Stadium is going to be electric. So that stadium's a hard place to play. Baltimore, I think it's going to be tough for them to go in there and function and do well on offense. So I definitely have KC winning. This game will come down to playoff implications, guaranteed home field advantage, first, second seed, who's it going to be. This game will come down to the wire, and I think it will have some impact on the playoffs.
Two of the brightest young quarterbacks in the game, and I would agree we are on a collision course for the postseason when you talk about these two teams. The Oakland Raiders, who showed signs of life for a hot minute, they take their game on the road to Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings here. I think they left a sour taste in their mouth losing to the Green Bay Packers a week ago, and I think they get off the schneid. I don't think they lose two in a row. I think they get the ball early and often to those playmakers. So look for Adam Thielen and Steph Diggs to have huge days.
And I'm going to go with the Oakland Raiders. I think that they're going to go into this game saying, if we stop the run and put the game in the quarterback's hand, they're not going to be able to win this football game. So I think Oakland wins this game by being strong up front and stopping the running game.
Kirk Cousins still trying to prove he's worth that contract. Sort of comes with the territory as they try to right the ship in Minnesota. No Sam Darnold, no Trevor Siemian. It will be Luke Falk who gets the call against the hottest team in the league when the Jets play the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going with the Patriots here. Obviously, the New England Patriots are just a machine that just keeps on rolling right now. They look like they're already in midseason and playoff form, and it's only Week 3. So it's hard for me to bet against New England Patriots.
And I got to go New England. I mean, it's one of the worst teams versus the best team. So, you know, right now you go into this game saying, yeah, we got to respect this team. You always respect the team you're about to play. But in reality, it's get the win and come out healthy, so you don't have to deal with any injuries moving forward.
Yeah, the Jets just decimated, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side as well from injuries. But anyway you look at it, this is a tough draw. Well, there were many, many experts who had the Philadelphia Eagles as their preseason favorite to win it all. So we'll see. They host the Lions this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles here. I think Carson Wentz understands he's got to get the ball to his playmakers. Don't run as much. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Get the ball out to the plethora of playmakers that you have at your disposal. And I think Philly comes out victorious in this one as well.
I'm going Detroit. I think the Eagles are underachieving right now. And you look at Deshaun Jackson, he's out a little bit with a groin injury. So I think that Detroit is playing well. They're not playing lights out, but I think that the Eagles haven't been playing up to the level that they need to be playing at. And I think Detroit goes in to the Eagles Stadium and they beat them.
I mean, Carson Wentz, whatever happens, to stay healthy. That is critical to what the Eagles hope to do. Well, listen, you got to check for signs of life from the Carolina Panthers. They haven't had a lot of energy through the first 2 weeks of the season. At least that's the way it looks from the outside observer. And they now face the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals here for that reason, Wendy. I think that they're just decimated. Cam Newton, he's up and down. His health is obviously a huge concern for that team. And I think that, along with everything else that's accompanied with that team, is just going to make it for the Arizona Cardinals to come out victorious. Kyler Murray playing at a high level. I think they come out with the win.
I got to go Arizona as well. You look at Carolina and, you know, Cam having a little bit of a foot issue this week seems to add fuel to the fire. It doesn't look good for Carolina, so I'm going to have to go with Arizona. I like how they looked last week against Baltimore. They looked strong. They didn't come out with the win, but they looked better on offense.
Cue the air raid offense. Here it comes. Carolina defense best be set. What else would you say about this other than the Daniel Jones era is set to begin? The Giants benching Eli Manning in favor of their young quarterback, and now here he goes against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Giants in this one. I think if you look at the 5-game span that they've got coming up, this is the one that they need to win. For the psyche of that team, for the psyche of Daniel Jones, this is an important game for them, and they need to come out victorious. I know Tampa Bay has that defense that has blitzed more than any other team in the league at this point in time. But I think the Giants come out with the win. I think they figure out how to get a win in Tampa this week.
I don't think it's going to happen. I'm sorry.
Oh, I believe he just laughed.
I'm not laughing at you. Come on.
He's with you.
I'm just kidding. I'm think that Tampa's going to win this game. It's hard to win on the road with a rookie quarterback against Tampa's defense, who, yeah, they're going to blitz. They're going to get after you a little bit. And it seems like New York has already moved on to like what the next couple of seasons are going to look like as opposed to this season. Looks like they've moved on already. So I think Tampa's going to get it done at home.
The Giants 0-2, hoping for their first win of the season. Well, protect the quarterback. That's all I got to say if you're the Houston Texans. And this week, if you do it, you're going to need to do it against the Chargers. Who do you like? I'm
going with Houston here. I just love Deshaun Watson. I think he's elevated his game from a year ago. He's wanting to be put in place in that elite category of quarterbacks, and he's been doing so week in and week out. And I think they get the win this time in Los Angeles.
I'm definitely going with Houston. I agree with you. I think that you look at the Chargers last week, losing on the road against the Lions. I thought that they were going to win by a lot in that game, but they didn't. I think that they're struggling on offense a little bit. So I definitely think Houston and that defense can get it done. So I'm going to go Houston.
Still no Melvin Gordon, of course, for the Chargers. And I do think that Houston defense has a little chip on its shoulder trying to prove it's still elite.
Exactly.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are set to face a 2-0 San Francisco team. Jimmy Garoppolo looks like he's returned to form. Mason Rudolph will quarterback the Steelers.
Yeah, I like Jimmy G. I like what he's been putting together on film. I like what he's been doing as the quarterback of that team. So I like the 49ers to win this one. Obviously, that defense has also been playing well. Richard Sherman kind of leading the back end of that defense. And Nick Bosa coming up, showing that he can inflict his will on the offense and getting back into that backfield, getting tackles for loss, and affecting that quarterback.
I got to go San Fran. I mean, Jimmy G, smoking hot. He's a good-looking guy, I'm saying, but he's playing well, you know. So I think San Fran, they get it done. Look, the Steelers, new quarterback in there, they're not trending in the right direction. So I definitely think San Francisco continues to do well.
They need a big game from James Conner. Ben Roethlisberger, of course, out for the season. Well, here come the Saints, and they come without their quarterback, Drew Brees. It will be a tandem approach at quarterback as they play the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks here. I just think, obviously, with New Orleans decimated at quarterback, Drew Brees being injured, I think that gives all the power and all the reins to Russell Wilson to go out there and lead that team to victory. And I just don't think that New Orleans can do enough offensively to combat the number of points that Seattle's going to put up.
I'm going with my old team. I'm going with Sean Payton. I think he's going to be able to come up with some things that are interesting on the offensive side. I like Hill. I like Bridgewater. I think those two guys can do something. I bet you they'll both be on the field. They'll do a lot of gadget plays. And I think they're going to use this us against the world mentality, and they're going to come out with a victory on the road.
No one can spin that messaging quite like Sean Payton. He's already got it dialed up and ready to go. Sunday Night Football finds the Rams on the road against Cleveland. Of course, the Browns got a win last week against the Jets, but looked far from perfect.
Yeah, I love the Los Angeles Rams here. I think they're one of the most complete teams in the NFL from top to bottom. I think defensively they get after the quarterback, as you know, and offensively they're getting things going. So I love the Los Angeles Rams. I think that they're a complete team, and they get the victory in Cleveland.
Vic, I agree, man. I think that LA looks good right now. Cleveland, yeah, they got to win against the Jets on their third-string quarterback. So, I can't look too far into that victory. I think you look at week 1, they struggled a lot versus Tennessee. So I definitely got to go with the Rams. They look like the best team right now.
Given the expectations in Cleveland, and part of that's our fault, the panic alarm will sound if they don't win this game.
Exactly.
Our Week 3 finale will find us in the nation's capital, the Chicago Bears on the road to face the Redskins.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chicago Bears in this one, mainly because of that defense. I think they're going to put a concerned plan together to get after that quarterback and make it really rough for the Redskins to kind of get in a groove offensively. I think the defense is going to be on them early and often, and they understand that they got to get to that quarterback in order to be successful. And then Mitchell Trubisky can just piggyback off that, guide this team to victory, and I think the Bears pull this one out.
And I got to go the Bears.
I knew I was waiting for it.
Look, they're going to win this game. Their defense is stout. Offensively, they're going to control the football.
Yep.
Hopefully, Trubisky doesn't give it up or throw a silly interception, but I think that they're going to be able to win this game on the defensive side. So you definitely got to give it to the Bears. They're going to win this football game.
Mitchell Trubisky, just guide the ship.
Just guide it.
Stay in your lane. They'll be all right.
Make the right decisions.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.